Superintendent Cheryl Jackson, and I had the honor of being your Master of Ceremonies for today's ceremony. On behalf of Chief Bikram Chawla, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to each of you here today. For you or those who are able, I would ask that you please stand for the arrival of our graduates. Thank you. Please be seated. As we begin our ceremony, I wish to acknowledge that the land we are meeting on is a traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now the home of many diverse First Nations, the Inuit and Métis people. We also acknowledge that Toronto was covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. It is my pleasure to introduce our special guests and the leadership of our service represented here today. In the front row to your right, we have Chief Bikram Chawla, Toronto Paramedic Services, and Mayor Olivia Chow. In the second row right, we have Deputy Chief Leo Sang, Operations, Deputy Chief Mike Wyonzik, Toronto Central Ambulance Communications Center, Deputy Chief Jamie Burnett, Program Development and Service Quality, Deputy Chief Melanie Jordanson, Operations Support. In the front row on your left, we have Division Chief Janice Colas, Toronto Fire Services, Staff Superintendent Don Bellinger, Toronto Police Services, Incoming Deputy Chief Darcy Bremner, Toronto Paramedic Services, Mr. Peter Schreier, QP Local 416. In the second row, we have Ms. Maud Huskamp, Sunnybrook Center for Pre-Hospital Medicine, Mr. Scott Gorsland, Sunnybrook Center for Pre-Hospital Medicine. We also welcome a number of members of our services management team who are able to join us today. Thank you to each of you for supporting our graduates today. I would also like to acknowledge the leadership and education staff of Toronto Paramedic Services who have joined us this afternoon. We are here today to witness the graduation of our latest group of paramedics who have chosen Toronto Paramedic Services their employer of choice. We also like to say thank you to the families and friends of those paramedics. We know that each of them have undertaken a demanding course of study to progress in paramedicine. We know that without you, they would not be here today. 192 years ago, in June 1832, the town of York, later to become Toronto, started a public ambulance service to care for the victims of a cholera outbreak. While Toronto's paramedic services have come a long way since these days, we have never forgotten our public service roots and our goals to protect and improve the quality of life in Toronto by providing superior and compassionate paramedic-based health care. This is a very special day for Toronto Paramedic Services as we welcome these exceptional individuals into their new roles as paramedics. These dedicated graduates will provide exceptional pre-hospital care to the citizens and visitors of Toronto. Emergency medicine and pre-hospital care have dramatically changed over the decades, especially in the last quarter century. Today, Toronto Paramedic Services staff possess unmatched skills, knowledge, and critical skills to provide vital care to patients over the phone, during 911 call, and at an emergency scene. They treat these patients and their loved ones with the utmost compassion, dignity, and respect. Today, we celebrate each of 24 paramedic graduates in their new role serving our community. I would ask Chief Chawla, Mayor Chow, and Deputy Chief Sang to please come forward to the stage. It is my pleasure to introduce our newest primary care paramedic graduates in their new role serving our community. Our first paramedic graduate is Brent Allard. A Toronto native, Brent tells us that he is proud to be a graduate of the Oxford College Paramedic Program and that he is motivated to make a difference in our community. He is deeply involved in local advocacy and community outreach initiatives, working to create safer spaces and provide support to those in need. Brent feels that his new career will help to broaden his reach in helping others. He would also like to say thank you to his family and friends for all their support and love, as he could have not done this without them. Our next paramedic graduate is Patrick Aquino. A graduate of Loyalist College paramedic program and previously working in nursing, Patrick tells us that he is excited to start the next phase of his life as a paramedic, and he has a passion for helping others. When not working, Patrick loves to travel, exploring new places and cultures, which works out well as he also loves to eat and cook. So he is learning lots of new recipes. Patrick would also like to thank his parents for all their support during the journey to become a paramedic. Lastly, Patrick says that he is very grateful for the support of his cats and dogs. Big shout out to them. Our next paramedic graduate is Sabrina Renee Bulet. French-speaking Sabrina is a graduate of the Centennial College Paramedic Program. She tells us that she loves to run marathons. Our next paramedic graduate is Jessica Becker. Hailing from Tavistock, Jessica graduated from the Centennial College Paramedic Program and also has an undergraduate in neuroscience. She also has a cat named Henry and would like to say thank you to all her family and friends who supported her in her journey to get here today. Our next paramedic graduate is Khalib Brady. Pickering native Khalib graduated from the CTS Canadian Career College Paramedic Program and says he loves to golf whenever he can get out on the links. Our next paramedic graduate is Humza Chikic. Holding a bachelor's degree from the University of Toronto, Hamza is also a graduate from the Cambrian College Paramedic Program. Hamza tells us that he is very proud of his Turkish heritage. Our next paramedic graduate is Joshua Cole. A graduate of the Oxford College Paramedic Program, Joshua has a passion for a medical field and he volunteers as a first aider at a number of community charity events. He tells us that earlier in life, he was very active in track and field, once finishing second place during a high school track and field event. Our next paramedic graduate is Ian Coppin. In a previous life, Ian worked in the high voltage construction and telecommunications field. Ian is a graduate of the Durham College Paramedic Program. He tells us that he is a proud father and husband who enjoys cooking, nature walks, and watching films. Our next paramedic graduate is Alyssa D'Souza Lloyd. A graduate of the Fleming College Paramedic Program, Alyssa also completed the Pre-Health Sciences program. Alyssa would like to thank her family for all the support they have given her as she has worked to become a paramedic. Our next paramedic graduate is Megan Fewer. Graduating from the CTS Canadian Career College Paramedic Program and a previous career with the County of Simcoe Paramedic Services, Toronto native Megan tells us that she enjoys playing hockey and practicing Muay Thai, and that is an absolute animal lover. Our next paramedic graduate is Nishua Jakovin. Holding an undergraduate degree in psychology from York University and currently working at the Northumberland County Paramedic Service. Nisha is a graduate of the Durham College Paramedic Program. She tells us that she is looking forward to her new career at Toronto Paramedic Services. Our next paramedic graduate is Brendan Heaslop. A self-described caffeine enthusiast, armed with a stethoscope, Oxford College Paramedic Program graduate Brendan says that he will take your blood pressure, then he will give it back to you. He would also like to thank his family for their unwavering support. Our next paramedic graduate is Kelly Keypredith. Hamilton native Kelly is a graduate of the Mohawk College Pre-Health Sciences program and the Ontario College of Health and Technology Paramedicine program. Our next paramedic graduate is Ryan Laszlo. With a prior career in the world of logistics, Ryan is a graduate with honors of the CTS Canadian Career College Paramedic Program. Our next paramedic graduate is Sarah O'Hearn. An avid community volunteer for over 15 years, Sarah is a graduate of the Oxford College Paramedic Program. Sarah also holds a diploma in police foundations and enjoys acting as a tutor for paramedic students in her free time. Our next graduate is Justine Ira Ovelis. A graduate of the Humber College Paramedic Program, Justine is passionate about contributing to our great city through bearing more girl power to the profession. She tells us that she is often referred to as a little ball of sunshine and finds joy in cooking, running, and savoring the quiet times with a good book. She is thankful she is thankful for the support of her family, friends, who helped her to keep climbing the ups and downs. Our next graduate is Darian Pompa. Currently working for the RAMA Paramedic Service, Darian is a graduate of the Niagara College Paramedic Program. Darian teaches first aid and CPR and enjoys spending time with friends, and she loves animals. Our next paramedic graduate is Matthew Robinson. Matthew studied cooking at Conestoga College prior to graduating from the Oxford College Paramedic Program. Matthew previously worked a variety of jobs, from aviation, construction, to the service industry. Our next paramedic graduate is Osama Sadidin. A graduate of the CTS Canadian Career College Paramedic Program, Masama would like to give a shout out to everyone who helped along his journey, especially family who had to tolerate him. Our next paramedic graduate is Jessica Shuklina. Graduating from Niagara College Paramedic Program, Jessica says that she would like to first thank her dog, Jax, in Cairo, and secondly, her family for supporting her. Our next paramedic graduate is Mira Snitman. Hebrew-speaking Mira is a graduate of CTS Canadian Career College Paramedic Program. Mira enjoys painting and drawing, as well as home decorating and renovations. She also has 2 cats, Charlie and Peaches. Our next paramedic graduate is Megan Yu. Hailing from Markham, Megan is a graduate from the Centennial College Paramedic Program and is in the process of completing a bachelor's degree from the University of Toronto. In her free time, she says that she enjoys cooking. Our final paramedic graduate is Kristen Wong. A graduate from the Durham College Paramedic Program, Chris tells us that he is an avid friend of food, is grateful to be here, and lastly, he truly hopes that he does not stumble getting up onto stage to accept the certificate. I think you passed. Thank you, Deputy Chief Sang. Please join me in congratulating our newest primary care paramedics. I would now like to ask Superintendent Carol Jenkins from the Paramedic Services Education and Development Group to please come forward, and Chief Chawla for the presentation of the Joe Fox Award.
Thank you. The Joe Fox Award is presented in memory of paramedic recruit Joe Fox, who died in a traffic accident shortly after graduation. Today, in his honor, a graduate will be recognized for their leadership, professionalism, skill, and enthusiasm, as shown in onboarding and throughout mentorship. It is my honor to present the October 2024 Joe Fox Award to Megan Fewer.
Congratulations, Paramedic Fewer, and to all our graduates. Today is extra special for us here at Paramedic Services as we have Her Worship, Mayor Olivia Chow. With us, I invite Mayor Chow to bring greetings.
Good afternoon, everyone. That was very joyous. I'm so pleased to be with you all today, to come together to celebrate 26 more primary care paramedics are joining the ranks of Toronto Paramedic Services. It's like 20 more literal lifelines for Torontonians to reach out to daily, around the clock, to support us in times of needs and desperation. Imagine calling that 911. I've made that terrifying call a few times when there was no one to turn to. Remember my dad, who was a senior, couldn't breathe, and I thought, oh, I need the paramedics to come, take him to the hospital. Another time, my late husband, bang, bike accident, whacked his knee right on a newspaper box in full speed, shattered it, in pain on the sidewalk. And then, of course, the paramedics showed up. And there's that sign of relief. Finally, someone is going to take care of me. It is so important. But being paramedics is a stressful, tough job. But looking out to all of you, I am confident you are ready for what is ahead. You have studied for years sometimes for this moment, trained hard for this job, to have chosen public services and care for those in need. I know you bring with you empathy and the determination to help. I know many of you volunteer outside your work, teaching first aid and CPR. That spirit is critical. Your role is critical. And in making sure that Torontonians are safe, know that they are not alone when they are in the time of need, and feel that they belong to something bigger. That is the core reason people come to this city, because they know we have a good safety net, because we are a caring city. And that is the other reason why they stay. Why did 2024, our last year budget, funded 62 new paramedics positions, and why we will continue to invest in the Toronto Paramedic Services. It is also why public service is the highest calling. So on behalf of the City of Toronto, on behalf of the people of Toronto, thank you all for stepping up. And I wish you many years of success in the service of our city and the people who call it home. Congratulations on your achievement, and I can't wait to see you out on the road. Thank you very much for the families are coming out today too.
Thank you, Mayor Chow. I would now ask Paramedic Services Chief Vikram Chawla to come forward to deliver remarks.
Thank you, Cheryl, and to all of our leadership colleagues. If you want to remove your hats, feel free to do so. It gets a little bit warm after a little while, so please feel free. Anyway, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Toronto Paramedic Services, Toronto Emergency Services Headquarters, for this really special ceremony. To our loved ones, to our graduates, our leadership colleagues, our partners. Thank you all so much for being here today. And by the way, Happy New Year. And hope you had that's right. And hope you had an enjoyable holiday as well. I'd be remiss if I didn't also thank today's organizers for this event, both standing behind me, but also our education staff and training staff in the back. You may see a few of them. They play a vital role in putting these ceremonies together. They look fairly simple, but they're not. They always take a lot of planning, a lot of preparation, and so thank you to all of you for all of your work. A big hand for them, please. And thank you, of course, to our honored guests. From our firefighter colleagues to Toronto Police, thank you so much for being here. And to our union colleagues, of course, Peter, Brian and Charles in the back, thank you so much. Without your partnership, we wouldn't enjoy the successes that we do, so thank you all for being here. We really do appreciate it. And of course, from our base hospital partners, Maud, Scott, thank you again for being here. You always show up every single time, and we are incredibly grateful for that. And thank you for your friendship as well. We really do value that. Graduates, welcome to Toronto Paramedic Services, and welcome to our family. It is truly a special day. As the mayor pointed out, you've worked incredibly hard to get here, and we talked about that this morning as well. The effort that you've put forth to get to this point, and we're truly proud of you and congratulate you. And as again, I'll steal the mayor's words for a moment. Thank you for stepping up. I mean, I could not, think of a better statement. I've called Toronto home for most of my life. My parents immigrated here when I was very young. We moved from place to place. And we finally settled in Toronto in the mid-'70s. And I'm really glad that we did. I think you would agree with me that Toronto is an incredibly diverse and vibrant city. And after I've gotten to know some of our grads, and you've heard some of the backgrounds of some of these incredible graduates, and I think you would agree that I think they really reflect the richness of our city that we're also so incredibly proud of. Of course, all of them have completed studies in paramedicine, as well as areas such as neuroscience, psychology, pre-health sciences. Many of them speak multiple languages. They've joined us from previous careers such as aviation, construction, telecommunications, logistics, nursing. There's a love of animals, spending time with family, traveling, and taking in the outdoors. We even have a professional chef amongst our ranks, and I was actually told ahead of the ceremony that one of you wants to become the future chief. So, that's great. It's incredible. That's great. Wow. A lot of these folks were born and raised in Toronto, and some of them immigrated, like myself and my family, to Toronto and made Toronto their home. But what all of them have is a collective desire to help others, a collective desire to be there for people in their moment of crisis, a moment that no one wants to be in. No one wants to have to call 911. It is a rare thing for someone to do. And as the mayor talked about, doing it herself, it's not something that you do lightly. Sometimes you think, oh, is this the right move? And so it really is a big, big deal. And our paramedics, these paramedics, and all of our paramedics out there are the ones that step into people's homes in that moment of crisis to help them out and are there for them. In 1990, I was proud to start my own career as a paramedic 34 years ago. And graduates, you heard this morning from the deputies and myself about sort of the journeys that we've taken ourselves to get where we are today. And if you learn nothing else from my own story, it's to realize, again, like we talked about this morning, there is a lot of opportunity working in Toronto. There are so many things that you can branch out into, and we encourage you to have a long and fulfilling career with Toronto. You've chosen an exciting, rewarding, and challenging career, a career with it that'll bring the respect of of your patients, your peers, and the public. A career in paramedic services is a calling like no other. Your days may be long and sometimes they may be very difficult, but the gratitude of your patients and their loved ones is always incredibly rewarding. Always remember why you chose this honorable profession. Every time you enter someone's home or help someone in need, it is an opportunity to make a lifelong difference in that person's life. You may not remember every single call that you respond to, every single patient that you care for, but rest assured, every one of those people that had to call 911 in that moment of crisis, they will remember you for sure and how you made them feel. But as you care for others, always remember to look after yourselves and care for yourselves, care for each other. If you're struggling, know that you are never alone. We are here for you. Always remember that. We're here for you. Please reach out to any of the supports that are available to you throughout our service and the city. And remember, like I said this morning, it is okay not to be okay. And it is okay to reach out and share and talk. And finally, I want to thank you, our families and loved ones, for being here today, to show your support, to show your love. Because without that support and love, your paramedic graduates, your brand new paramedics, would not be here without that love and support. So thank you again for joining us here today for this really special ceremony. We're incredibly grateful for you to be here. And of course, congratulations to our graduates. You've worked incredibly hard, and all the best in your future careers, and may you work here a nice long time, and hopefully we'll get to chat a little bit more after the ceremony. Thank you, everybody. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Chief Chalo. Thank you to the friends, colleagues, and loved ones for joining us this afternoon to celebrate and recognize the achievements of our graduates. My congratulations to everyone. I would now ask those that were able to please stand for our national anthem. Please be seated. Thank you. I would ask that the audience members remain in your seats and that all the graduates please come forward to have a group photo taken on center stage.